All right, Randy, thank you for joining us today for this 15-minute franchisee interview. Let's just start with general introductions. If you would please go ahead and tell our viewers your name, how long you've been a franchise owner, how many territories you have, just a little bit about that. That would be great.
Great. Yep. Randy Price, Tyler, Texas, originally born in Dallas, Texas. I'm a native Texan. Got in to the business in 2009
Okay.
after doing a little research a couple of years before.
Okay.
So yeah, a bunch of years, almost 17 years now.
Okay. Awesome. And how many territories do you have now?
We have 11 territories.
Okay. Um, let's see here. And what did you do before you became a franchise owner with Right at Home?
Yeah. I spent 17 years in manufacturing before
Okay.
this. 2 years in business missions in Mexico, which was also manufacturing. So taking work down there to help people have jobs. So I've always loved serving and helping people. So that was a
Okay.
way we could do that.
Okay. Awesome. And that really was my next question. Why did you get into senior care? And
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if we can kind of rewind back to when you first started 17 years ago, how has your day-to-day changed? So let's go back to the beginning. You're
Yeah.
launching this business called Right at Home. Kind of
Yes.
describe what that was like,
Yes.
and how that has changed from then to now.
Yeah. Obviously dramatic change in 17 years. So, great support from right at home from the get-go. It's the first time I've been in a franchise system. And I tell people often, if you're going to start a business and you can find a good franchise system, which is really hard to do,
Mhm.
that is definitely normally the best way to go. And it's been a tremendous, really good experience. But yeah, day one, it was great having, as it is now, having corporate support and having franchisee support because you get that localized, in my case, Texas support from fellow Texans dealing with similar licensing and all those kind of things, as well as the corporate support. So that was awesome, because I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started a bunch of different businesses over the years, and this has been great to have that to work with. And so day one, it was me, and then we hired a person, and getting the licensing, the whole drill. But it was nice because we had everything laid out. Can you do this first, this first, this first? It was 2 weeks of training back then
Yep.
at corporate, which maybe it still is. And so that was really helpful. Even beforehand, I think I was able to do a little bit of pre-work before training and, getting the office open and hiring that first person and looking for franchisees and marketing and all
Hmm.
that. My wife was a little bit involved. She was still homeschooling like five of our kids. So it was like, minimal, but
Yep.
helpful. Like I couldn't be the administrator. She could. So
Hmm.
different things like that that she helped
Yep.
with. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So that's a lot, and it is for any a franchise owner when they first start their business. So now
hmm
describe what your life is like now.
Um, I'm a continuous improvement person and I'm not a retirement person. So I continue to pour a lot into the business, both financially, mentally, emotionally. And I love tweaking and designing. So it's very organizational structure, vision, what can we do to be the best and most importantly, deliver the best quality of care in the home. How do we make sure that's happening? So a lot of design stuff, a lot of working with our managers and our leaders on those things and working together to keep improving.
Yep. Okay. So what I heard was you're working on the business
Yeah.
and not necessarily in the business. There's a
Yes.
big transition when you first start, you're working
Mhm.
in the business and you're wearing all the hats and doing all the things and
Yes.
starting something from scratch and building and it's a lot of working in the business and you've
Yes.
really transitioned to working on your business. And
Yes.
that just shows your tenure as a franchise owner, how that journey really does change from when you first start. As the business grows and as the years go by, your role when you're first started does change quite a bit
Yes.
as the
Yep.
business matures. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was perfect. And you've already mentioned a little bit about this, like, you chose this system because of all of the support and the guidance and everything that all of the tools that Right at Home provides. So what would you say, what part of the support that Right at Home provides do you feel is the most valuable to you in your business right now? Or perhaps even when you first started?
Yeah, so it's multi-pronged because there's a lot of really high quality, high talent people there in Omaha. Obviously, there's a really big, strong network of franchisees,
Hmm.
which is critical.
Yep.
But I would say it depends on the situation, where I'm going to focus. But performance groups obviously is normally going to be at the top of the list because you're working, with other franchisees, you're with a lot more data and a lot more intensity over a couple of days. So that's huge. Performance groups would be way up there. But then specialized things like, good old DC Doug, and Ginger and, just different specialties and what you need changes from day to day, week to week, year to year, month to month. Which department I'm most engaged with is
Yep.
going to change,
Yep.
right? And then I may circle back and say, oh, we have another need, and
Hmm.
so talking to the specialists at corporate is huge. And then yeah, and I literally will just reach out to my performance group and say, hey, here's a situation. Do you know a vendor? Do you know whatever? So all those things come into play every week, really.
Awesome. Awesome. And for our listeners, you will have the opportunity to join a performance group once you have been in the Right at Home system for at least a year. And there's several reasons for that. But Randy, I'm so grateful to hear the benefits that you see from joining a performance group. And that's
Mhm.
not the first time that I've heard that franchise
Mhm.
owners truly do love being part of a performance group for so many reasons.
Yes.
So, what would you say for all of the wonderful things that you and your business have done for clients and families? If you could think of a story or a time or something that you feel very proud of, maybe just a great story to tell about care that you've provided or something that happened in your community, just looking for like kind of a feel good moment being a right at home franchise owner.
Mhm. There's a lot of them. I'm trying to go back in memory banks on some of the favorites.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I guess, because as you work on the business more and not in the business as much, you don't have as much. That's the hard part. We actually had a meeting this morning talking about even two of my top leaders, how they were out in the home. And I was like, man, that is just so life-giving to be out there in the home, seeing what we're doing and feeling it and experiencing
Yeah.
it and making a difference. But so I'm kind of going back to when I was more at that stage.
Hmm.
So we, in our first year or two, we had a client patient with um, ALS, right? So Lou Gehrig's, and so
Yep.
just walking through that with him was so hard, but so rich,
Yep.
So I'm picking him up, taking. He was like, "Hey, do you want to go to church?" Sure. So took him to church with us a time or two, and
Yep.
just made a huge difference in his life. Was another client that we had who had schizophrenia. And so these would be examples of people under 65, which is
Hmm.
not our norm.
Yep.
And so yeah, so this other guy, we had him for like 5, 6 years until he died. And so, but
Yep.
just lots of trials and traumas. And I mean, I'm picking him up because he was not being nice to the caregiver and saying,
Yep.
okay, here's the deal. You can come home with me, or I don't know what else you're going to do because you can't be alone
Yeah.
because you're just not
Yep.
not being nice to your caregiver.
Yep.
So,
Uh-huh.
it's just every day there's so many different stories where we're the difference between just a horrible existence and or death. I mean, and
Yep.
on the flip side, I mean, I know there's been a number of times where we see a need, the person is like, yeah, I don't want help, and then you read that they died in their home by themselves. I mean, it's
I
just
know.
horrific what can happen, and many times does happen without the help that we provide.
Yes, and you are making such a huge difference, and to improve the quality of life for those we serve, our
Mhm.
literal mission statement. So you're doing some really wonderful things, and
Yeah.
thank you for sharing those stories.
Yeah.
So for our listeners or our viewers who are watching this, these are people who are thinking about joining the Right at Home system as potentially becoming Right at Home franchise owners. So what's
Mhm.
one piece of advice that you would give to someone who is watching this and thinking about joining the Right at Home system?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to a number of people every year that are considering it, and one of my first questions is, if you're getting into this to make a bunch of money, please don't do it, right?
Mhm.
If that's your motivation, it's too hard. It's 24/7. It's
Yeah.
whatever. And it just won't work, right? The caregivers won't resonate with you. The
Yeah.
clients won't resonate with you. If you're not mission driven, then please don't do this because
Yeah.
there are other people in this business doing that. You come across nurses and other people in the healthcare setting yourself, right, that are clearly there for a paycheck, and it's not a good experience. So
Awesome. Yeah.
it's not a good experience for them or you. And so it's like if serving people and helping people is better than a paycheck for you, then you're on the right track.
Yes. Okay, great. I love that. Mission driven. It's
Yeah.
an absolute necessity in order to
Mhm.
be a thriving right at home franchise owner. It's a
Yes.
very people-centered business. You have to have a passion for people.
Yes.
And I love that mission driven. It's imperative to have.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, so Randy, thank you so much. I appreciate you
Absolutely.
taking
Yeah.
the time to do this. I
Yeah.
know you're a very busy guy, so I appreciate you, and I know that our viewers do as well. So
Yeah.
thanks so much.
My pleasure. Okay.
Okay.
See ya.
All right. Have a great day. Bye.
Okay. You too. Bye.